Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Let's Play TEW Resurrecting 2CW. My name is Paul Laporte, and we have fast-forwarded to 2CW The Rebirth, Night 1, our first of two big weekend shows that is going to hopefully bring the promotion back to its feet. And if you take a look, this is the initial screen for the show. Nothing has been booked as of yet, but we do have some notes on absent workers. Cherry Bomb, unfortunately, has been injured. She will be available for angles, but not for wrestling. And Ricochet apparently has double booked himself somewhere. God damn it, Ricochet. Unfortunately, one of the things with Squared Circle Wrestling is that you can quote-unquote pre-book your shows, but you can't actually set anything in stone until the night of the show. So when you have a worker on your roster, you can put him down in your own notes that he's going to be wrestling that night, but you can't lock him up for that evening. So unfortunately, we are down Ricochet, so we're going to have to just do the best with what we have. Let's see. I'm checking some different things out here. I do not have currently access to motivational speeches or psycho sermons, unfortunately. I guess that would probably help boost the morale of the crowd. But let's go ahead and get things started. Let's go ahead and go to actually book the show. So this is the booking screen, and you can add matches or angles or move segments up and down the card. So we're going to go ahead and just take all of the angles that we had booked already and add them to the card, at least the ones that we can. We're going to have to tweak the AR Fox Matt Cross Ricochet match here, but we can add Bobby Ocean, Jason X, Colin Delaney, and whatnot, and we're just going to add all of these right now. So taking a look, we have the screen here, and this is basically the full official booking screen. No titles are going to be on the line in this match. We can assign our referees, our road agents, the intensity of the match, so how hard these guys are going to be going at each other, and the danger of the match, which is how much risks they're going to take. Bobby Ocean versus Jason Axe. We're going to give them... We'll start off in, say, 8 minutes for this one. All right, so we'll go ahead and save that. Pull another match out for pre-booking. Let's see, we'll take a look at... And again, this isn't going to be the final order. This may not open the show, but I'm just going to kind of lay things out. So we'll go ahead and we'll do one more match, and then we'll fast forward until we have everything set. We'll do one of our heavyweight title tournament matches. We'll do Jay Freddy versus Dalton Castle here, so we'll add that to the booking grid. So we have everything set up here again. Again, we can set the referees. We'll make it so just the refs are viewed. We only have 2 referees in the company right now, 1 road agent, but that should be good enough for what we have right now. We're going to leave the match intensity and match danger at the defaults again. We will make this a 12-minute match. I don't want to burn these guys out because they'll have to wrestle tomorrow. Actually, we'll do 13, so the whole segment will be 15 minutes long. We'll go ahead and do that, and we will save that. All right, so that gives you an idea of what it looks like to actually book these shows out. I'm going to go ahead at this point and fast forward and get the entire segment laid out, and then we'll go ahead and discuss each of those matches as they show up on the card. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and this is what our final card looks like for 2CW The Rebirth Night 1. We have some angles and some matches in here. I'm just going to go ahead and run over the card and discuss if I had any issues booking this, which one interesting one came up. We'll get to that in a little bit later. So we're going to start off with an angle of Bin Hameen introducing his new client, Prakash Sabar, which of course leads into a match between Prakash Sabar and Dick Justice. Going into notes here, Prakash Sabar is going to get the victory with managerial interference. And that match is going to go about 8 minutes long. Next up, we have Bobby Ocean versus Jason Axe. This is our debut of Bobby Ocean in 2CW, so I want him to look really good. He is going to be the victor here. He's going to be kept strong. Insert Roman Reigns joke here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and add just decisive win to this, too, just to go ahead and add that. So we want Bobby Ocean to look really good in his debut. Next up, we have Jay Freddy versus Dalton Castle, which is the first of our heavyweight title tournament. Dalton Castle is going to be the victor here, but there is going to be some shenanigans with the old rival of Jason Axe coming in and interfering and costing Jay Freddy the match. I have instructed these two guys to go all out as well, so they're just going to try and put on the best bout possible, and hopefully they won't get burned out in the 15-minute length of the match. Semifinal number 2, Sami Callihan going to be taking on Sean Carr. Callihan is going to win this one. Again, this is going to be an all-out bout. These guys are going to go balls to the wall. As a matter of fact, I'm going to up the intensity of this one to, we'll say, 40%. And the match is going to end with a submission, presumably the stretch muffler by Sami Callihan. So that is going to be our second semifinal match. We have our tag team triple threat match here with the To Infinity and Beyond versus Punisher Van Slyke and Kevin Graham and the Electric Dream Machine. And we are going to have the Electric Dream Machine get the victory, and they are going to be our 2CW Tag Team Champions. This is going to be a longer match. This one is going to go 20 minutes because it's a triple threat match. More time for people to kind of come in and out, more spots to get in. I figured I'd give this one some extra time, and I did give a post-match angle of the Electric Dream Machine celebrating, that's tough to say, Electric Dream Machine celebrating with their newly won 2CW tag team titles. Now, this next match, it's funny because I actually had some problems booking this one. So this is Eddie Edwards versus Heidi Lovelace. And originally, I was going to book this to go to a 20-minute draw. But Eddie Edwards was not happy with drawing with Heidi Lovelace, surprisingly. Maybe not surprisingly, I don't know. But I wasn't expecting it, so me being the reasonable person I am, I instead booked him to lose the match, showing how I treat complainers. You know, I wanna build a credibility of intergender wrestling in this promotion, so I want to have a match that's going to have two good workers, and I wanted the woman to come out on top. Originally, I was just going to do a draw and have them rematch, but if Eddie's going to be a pain in the ass, I'm just going to put Heidi over and move Eddie on to something else. If he doesn't want to, you know, work with the women, maybe we'll reconsider having him in the promotion at all. But the match is going to make both of them look very good. It's going to go long. It's going to go 20 minutes. I'm going to keep it going to, you know, that length of time. So we'll stay in our own heads that this is close to the time limit draw marker, but in the end, Heidi Lovelace is going to get the flash pinfall. And watch when we save this. Eddie Edwards is furious at the booking of this match and has complained loudly that he wants to change. Continue anyway? Yes. And also, because of his temper tantrum in the locker room, I'm going to have Eddie Edwards throw a temper tantrum in the ring when he loses. So maybe a heel turn for Eddie Edwards coming down the pipe. Our cool-down match before the main event is going to be Isis Effects versus Pepper Parks. Pepper Parks is going to be the winner, but it's going to have a tainted finish. Pepper Parks is going to low blow Eddie or Isis, something like that. I haven't specifically put in what's going to happen, but there's just going to be some sort of sketchy finish that Pepper Parks is going to get the win, being the nasty heel over the babyface Isis Effects. And for our main event of the evening, we have a triple threat. So Ricochet was double booked, so we couldn't use him. Cherry Bomb was originally supposed to wrestle Jessica Havoc, but she got hurt, so I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here. And our main event for the show is going to be AR Fox versus Matt Cross versus Jessica Havoc. AR Fox is going to get the win here, but we want Jessica Havoc to look good and strong. Again, we're going to kind of promote intergender wrestling in this promotion, and these guys are just going to go balls out. These three, I expect to be able to do a lot of stuff. The match is going to be open. Everybody is going to look just as good as everybody else, and that is going to close night one of 2CW The Rebirth. Let me just go ahead and double check and make sure I have everything set in place correctly. 2CW Tag Team Championships are on the line for this match, so I did select that. No other titles on the line here. Let's just go ahead and run through this quick. That is the angle. That's fine. Prakash Sabar, Dick Justice is our opener. I think we're good to go. All right, let's go ahead. And we have our segments. So this match, or this card, runs just over 2 hours. It's going to be 123 minutes long, 11 segments. The show did have to be between an hour and a half and 2.5 hours, and I'm within those guidelines, so we can go ahead and run the show. And I don't know how this is going to go. I'm actually kind of nervous because this seems like a good card on paper, but I don't know if the fans are going to like certain things or not like certain things. Fingers crossed. Let's hit that button. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, so Ben Hameen's on the stick. He'd like to introduce his newest client, Prakash Sabar, rating an F. And what exactly does that mean? So the rating, each segment show how good it was. Key value will not be used in calculating the shows. Not only will it be used in calculating the show's overall grade, but it is used when calculating the worker's popularity and other stats. Okay, what other notes do we have here? Ben Hameen has debuted his gimmick. It has gotten his gimmick is fine. Prakash Sabar is coming in, and his gimmick is fine too. Let's go ahead and move on to the actual match. How was the match? A little bit better. This is just our opener, so we're not super worried about this. In an awful match that was completely devoid of heat, that's probably not a great start. Prakash Sabar defeated Dick Justice in 6 minutes, 2 seconds by submission after interference from Ben Hameen. Our notes here, Ben Hameen did some good work at ringside, okay. Dick Justice debuted his Law Enforcer gimmick. Again, this is just restarting everything, so everything is getting debuted here. Dick Justice apparently getting over with a Law Enforcer gimmick. Big surprise. The rating is fine. The Ben Hameen versus Dick Justice storyline has been advanced with this segment. Okay. Next match. Bobby Ocean versus Jason Axe. Awful match, completely devoid of heat. Oh, this is a bad start. Bobby Ocean defeated Jason Axe 7 minutes, 44 seconds by pinfall. Their gimmicks were debuted. They were both fine. Okay. Moving on. And we got 850 people for the show, though, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next match. Jay Freddy versus Dalton Castle. Awful match, completely devoid of heat. Oh, boy. Oh, no. All right, we've debuted their gimmicks. Jay Freddy was visibly tiring towards the end, as was Dalton Castle. I may have booked these matches too long. About dragged in the middle, with the lack of flow being noticeable. We had Jay Freddy and Jason Axe storyline being advanced to the segment. Okay, maybe I was worried that these matches might have been booked a little too long, and that may have been the case here. 15 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but I guess if you're actually talking about an actual match, maybe it went too long. Let's go on to our next one. Sami Callihan and Sean Carr, extremely poor match, but Sami Callihan got the win with the stretch muffler in 13 minutes. Sami Callihan debuted his gimmick. Their gimmicks are getting over fine. Sean Carr was visibly tiring towards the end. The intense physicality of the match was too much for some of the fans. That's surprising. Okay, let's move on to our next match. Oh, another, man, these are not going well. Okay, awful match. That's weird. I wonder why the matches are not getting good ratings. Let me see. Okay, well, in any case, everybody debuted everything. About dragged in the middle with the lack of flow being noticeable. The intense physicality. So I guess we're just going to have to step back the physicality of some of these matches. The post-match segment here. Yeah, we may just have to dial back the physicality. I'm kind of surprised. Okay. Eddie Edwards versus Heidi Lovelace. This crowd had good crowd and some decent in reaction. So good. Okay, good. This is just finally some good news here. Heidi Lovelace is visibly tired towards the end. Eddie Edwards and Heidi Lovelace have great chemistry, and it's shown in their performance. Oh, man. The performance of Eddie Edwards stood out as being good. So they have good chemistry, so that's good. I don't know if I should put him in a program with each other, though, because Eddie Edwards, if he's going to be a pain in the ass about losing to Heidi, that may be an issue. I don't know. I might have to book him in something else down the line. We'll maybe see about a rematch at next month's show. But that's good. I mean, I'm glad that at least it got a decent rating there. Eddie Edwards having a temper tantrum in the ring actually got a decent reaction for this, a D- rating at least compared to the other stuff. Another awful match that was complete. Oh God, the heat for these matches. Maybe it's just because these are debuting matches and they're not storylines that are based around this. We'll have to see. Again, you have to remember that this software covers from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high. So, an A rating for a match would be like, a WWE or New Japan quality match. So I'm not too sour on these ratings. Obviously, we want them to be a bit higher, but I think this being the debut night, the first night back, maybe we need to do some more stuff to kind of get the crowd into it and get the crowd back into the show. All right, and this is our main event in a bout that had solid in-ring action, but not much in the way of heat. AR Fox defeated Matt Cross, Jessica Havoc, when he got him by a pinfall with the crunch. The gimmicks have all debuted. Said Jessica Havoc was off her game tonight. That's unfortunate. But the match lifted up the crowd. Unfortunately, it's the main event, so it's just in time to go home. But glad to see that at least that was a good showing between the three. Not that unexpected, to be honest. AR Fox and Matt Cross are improving. Let's see. Just taking a look at the booking details. Going back to the road agent notes. That's what we told them. Okay, and that's our reports. So, okay. First night, not the best, I guess. Let's go ahead and end this. Final rating, E+. Any final notes? Guerrero Loco was slightly overused. The general feeling is the 2CW doesn't have enough interesting storylines going on. And the show did increase the popularity, so that's good. Let's see, make a speech to the people. You're preparing to give a speech to the locker room after 2CW, their birth night 1. During the speech, you can focus on 3 workers who took part in the show, offering them specific praise or criticism. How the worker responds will depend on his or her personality, as well as any recent praise or criticism that you will have used. Usually it will take at least 2 or 3 speeches to see a morale change, blah, blah, blah. Note that speech will also affect your own image, so be careful. All right, so who do you want to take a look at here? Let's see. Let's go. We'll praise AR Fox here. Complimented a good performance. We will, despite the fact that I dicked over Eddie, he put on a good show. So we're going to compliment him on a good performance. And Jessica Havoc underperformed. We will need to... I don't know if I should give her encouragement or if I should... Told that they could do better. Here we go. Let's go ahead and make that speech. AR Fox was happy. Eddie Edwards was happy. Jessica Havoc didn't seem too concerned with your speech, at least for now. The speech has been given. All right, and that is the end of Night 1 of 2CW The Rebirth. So with that, I presume that we're just going to go ahead and move into Night 2. Let's go ahead and fast forward to the next important point in our ongoing journey. Okay, so here we are with 2CW The Rebirth Night 2, and as you can see, we have some big problems here. We have a bunch of workers who are working elsewhere tonight, including AR Fox, Cherry Bomb still injured, Dalton Castle working elsewhere. He was going to be the one we were going to put the belt on, so that's a problem. Dick Justice and Pepper Parks also working elsewhere. Let's just go ahead and take a look and see what we had booked for tonight. Bobby Ocean versus Dick Justice versus Pepper Parks. We're probably just going to scrap completely, or maybe we can put Bobby in a different match. Cheech versus Isis Effects versus Jessica Havoc versus AR Fox. The 4-way match. We should be able to do maybe just make it a triple threat. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. Cherry Bomb and Heidi Lovelace versus the Electric Dream Machine. We're going to have to change that. Colin Delaney versus Ricochet. We might put Ricochet in a more prominent spot here because he didn't make last night, and we're going to need him to really kind of pick this card up. Dalton Castle and Sammy Callahan. We're going to have to change that. Eddie Edwards versus Punisher Van Slyke. Everything might get changed here because the card has just been decimated by all these people who have taken bookings elsewhere. So unfortunately, that comes with us being kind of the low guy on the totem pole. Is that we're not going to be the ones that people go to as their primary source for their employment. So I'm going to go ahead and put my nose to the grindstone here and try and figure out something else that we are going to do, and I will be back for the completely different looking card for 2CW The Rebirth Night 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and this is our final booking for Night 2 of 2CW The Rebirth. We are having Isis Effects taking on Prakash Sabar with Isis Effects going over. I'm going to try and make things a little bit more simplistic this time. Maybe not do as many road agent instructions. Maybe that was affecting the matches. So I'm just going to kind of make it more simple. We're going to have a rematch between Eddie Edwards and Heidi Lovelace, with our roster being short and the matches that they were in kind of getting screwed up anyways. We're going to have Eddie challenge Heidi to a rematch, and this time Eddie Edwards is going to win, which he seems much happier about, ironically enough. I also did put them in a storyline, so hopefully that will further that, and maybe we can get some momentum, because the two have good chemistry together. I just have to figure out a way to do a storyline between two people who one doesn't want to lose to the other. I don't know. Maybe his attitude will change. We're also going to have Punisher, Van Slyke, and Kevin Graham challenge the Electric Dream Machine. So we're going to have our tag title match, be the EDM and Kevin Graham and Punisher Van Slyke, with Guerrero Loco getting the pin. We are going to have Jessica Havoc taking on Bobby Ocean. Jessica Havoc actually has a lot of momentum right now. Despite the fact that she didn't have a good performance, she's still listed as having high momentum in the roster. So we're going to have her win over Bobby Ocean, but we're going to change this to an open match too. So we're going to have this be back and forth. Bobby Ocean's going to be protected with the victory, but Jessica Havoc is going to be the winner. We're going to have Sean Carr taking on Colin Delaney, with Colin Delaney... I'm sorry, this one actually I booked to be a draw, a double count out. So I might move a program between the two of them. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just create that storyline right now. So we'll go ahead and add a storyline. We will pick Colin Delaney and Sean Carr, who are both faces right now, but we can build it around friendly competition. Carr versus Delaney. Delaney. Start storyline. Okay, so now that one's in there, so that should hopefully boost that as well. We have Matt Cross taking on Cheech, which is just going to be a good match, hopefully. We're going to continue the Jay Freddy versus Jason X feud. This is going to be our cooldown match, I guess, just because they're not as high as some of these guys further along in the card. There we go, that's the word we're looking for. Jason X is going to attack Jay Freddy after the match, and then our final, so this is going to be for the 2CW title. Sami Callihan is going to be taking on late replacement in the tournament, Ricochet. And Ricochet is going to be the winner and our 2CW champion going forward for a few reasons. He's cheaper. He's a new face. Yes, he doesn't have the history with the company, but I think people are going to be just fine with him as the champion. We're going to have him go all out, decisive pinfall victory here. So this is night 2. We're going to go ahead and go forward with this. Cross our fingers, see how things go, and let's do it. Okay, so hey, we have an E match, a rating. Awful match, was completely devoid of heat. Whatever, Prakash Zabar was off his game tonight. Ben Hameen did some good work at ringside. Okay, fine, that's our starter. E+ for the segment. Eddie Edwards calling out Heidi Lovelace. Lovelace responds and accepts the challenge. The feud between these two has been advanced, so that's good. Hang on. Creation of a pre-booking may be appropriate. Are you sure to continue without creating one? Yes? Weird. Oh, maybe because it was supposed to go into the match. Alright. So this is the actual match between the two. Eddie Edwards versus Heidi Lovelace. Good crowd, decent in-ring action. Eddie Edwards defeated Heidi Lovelace. Match lifted the crowd. That's good. Okay, great chemistry, and it showed in their performances. Storyline advanced in the segment. Good. Glad to hear that. And now we have a call out for a challenge and an acceptance for the tag title match. I maybe should have split those a little bit further apart so we didn't do two challenges right back to back. But that's okay. I think we're fine. And again, the pre-booking thing, that's okay. I've booked this match already. Electric Dream Machine, Punisher Van Slyke. E rating for the match. No heat to this. Maybe I should probably like book these two in a feud in the storyline here. Maybe that would help with the overall heat of that. No specific comments about this match. Jessica Havoc versus Bobby Ocean. Solid in-ring match, but not much in the way of heat. Jessica Havoc ends up winning the match. E+ rating. Sean Carr versus Colin Delaney. Match devoid of heat. Sean Carr drew following a double count out. So we'll go ahead and build to that in future cards. Matt Cross taking on Cheech. Awful match. Oh, guys, come on. How could that be? How could I see? Like, I think that they need to change their wording on certain things. I don't think these two guys are going to put on an awful match. Kind of a bummer. I was expecting more out of this one, but that's okay. We'll have to be happy with that. Jay Freddy and Jason Axe. Nobody's super happy with this one. F+ rating. Jay Freddy really off his game tonight. That's unfortunate. I know this is the tried and true feud in 2CW, but if these guys are not clicking together anymore, I guess we're just gonna maybe have to move on and put an end to this segment and move these guys into different programs. I don't know. Jason Axe attacks Jay Freddy. This segment brought the crowd's mood down. I don't know if that's good or not. I guess it is good in a way that this is the segment before the main event, so this will hopefully bring the crowd back up, so they're not riding high and then the main event can't compare. Speaking of which, main event, fingers crossed, good match. Solid in-ring action and average heat. Ricochet defeated Sami Callihan, 15 minutes, 27 seconds. Pinfall with Chocolate Rain. 2CW wins. Ricochet wins the 2CW heavyweight title. Ricochet debuted his gimmick because he is debuting with the company. Match lifted the crowd. And here we go. New 2CW champion, Ricochet. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with that. Overall, same rating as the last one. The general feeling is that 2CW don't have enough interesting storylines going on. So that's what we're going to have to work towards the next show for. But again, because the company is just starting, it's a little bit difficult to get to get some decent storylines off the ground. So we're gonna have to work on that. Go ahead and make our speech. Workers to focus on. We're gonna say Ricochet. Let's see. We're gonna give him a great performance. Who else should we single out here? Should we single out anybody else? Let's see who else put on a good match. Eddie Edwards and Heidi Lovelace again. We'll thank Eddie again just to get his mood a little bit better. Praise him for a great performance. And we'll do it for Heidi Lovelace as well because they put on a good match. So make that speech. Ricochet seems pleased. Eddie seems pleased. Heidi seems pleased. Hooray. Everybody's happy. All right, so that is the end of 2CW The Rebirth, Night 1 and 2. That's our initial show in the books. Maybe not quite the dynamite return I was hoping for, but I think that the fact that this is being viewed as a company that is completely just starting right off the ground for the first time, we're not going to have dynamite shows right off the bat. It's going to take a little time to get some momentum going again. So I'm going to have a positive look on this. Eddie Edwards still has his morale issues. Hopefully we can work that out between the feud with him and Heidi. So we started off with $50,000. It looks like we're at about $45,000 right now. So the show cost us about $5,000 total. Let me see if I can get any information on that business. Let's see. So we can find here. If you can find a past shows or a finance. Here we go. Okay. So this month we made $20,000 in ticket sales. Not bad. Between the workers and the show cost. So yeah, we ended up losing $4,800 at the end just for the total costs for the venue and for the workers. Hopefully that will turn around. Again, this was for the weekend, so it was, kind of a big, we did two shows in one weekend, so that cost problems. We brought in some bigger names. We might have to look to changing around our roster, maybe trimming the fat a little bit. And now that we have an idea of who works and who doesn't, we might have to do that and maybe just book smaller shows. So we'll figure that all out. But all in all, good weekend, good ticket sales. We'll just need to figure out either ways to sell more tickets or pay less people. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Let's Play TEW. We got our first big weekend down. Next time around, we'll go ahead and start booking forward, figure out what kind of schedule we want for our live shows, and then figuring out what sort of roster we want going forward, if there's anybody we want to drop, anybody we want to add. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't do so already, be sure to check out the previous episode that we did of Let's Play TEW. And again, if you are enjoying this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video and to all of our videos at the Changing the Questions channel. Of course, on Mondays we have on Mondays we have Time Warp. On Tuesdays and Thursdays we have Changing the Questions. On Wednesdays we have Booking a Better Wrestler. And of course, on Fridays, Let's Play TEW. If you want to send us any feedback, you can do so at changingthequestions@gmail.com, or you can check us out on Twitter at ChangingTheQs, which is at ChangingTheQS. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook. And that's going to do it. Again, thank you very much for watching. My name is Paul Laporte. See you soon. Bye.